Howdy. Deleted scenes are a great place to see those concepts too weird or dark to make it into the final movie. And even Dreamworks has a handful of these scenes that ended up on the cutting room floor. So let's check out the top 3 darkest Dreamworks deleted scenes. And as always, I've attached links to the original deleted scenes in the description, in case you're interested. Anyway, on to the countdown. Number 3. Home. Tip and O's ferocious brawl. You remember that overly saccharine, painfully safe Dreamworks movie with Rihanna, Sheldon, and those other creepy purple balloon aliens? Well, originally, it turns out Tip and O didn't get along so well. In fact, they have an all-out violent free-for-all with one another. And this isn't just like a 14-year-old teenage slap fight. No, they're throwing each other through wooden tables, kicking one another through shelves, Street Fighter 2 style. It's so brutally out of character for this boringly safe movie that it's actually kind of awesome. But the scene actually gets even more brutal. After being edged to a lake full of gators, Tip dangles O over this gator pit. Tip smiles gleefully as she hangs him over his doom. Apparently, the original Tip was kind of bloodthirsty and ferocious. That ferocious nature does seem more in character for her voice actor. While the producers seem to have avoided discussing this scene, my guess is that since no one ever feels in any legitimate danger at any other point in this movie, the scene was so dramatically different in tone to the rest of the movie that they had to cut it. And the second darkest Dreamworks deleted scene is Trolls, Chef's villain song. Trolls was a pretty odd movie, to me anyway. It felt like there was a not-so-subtle anti-meat message. In fact, the villain is basically just a slightly too ambitious paleo chef. Apparently, the evil Bergens can only feel true happiness when they're eating trolls? Sure, why not? Throw in a few veg and at least they won't have any nutrient or iron deficiencies. But in this Trolls deleted scene, we're essentially shown the equivalent to a troll slaughterhouse. This was one of those traditionally dark Disney villain songs we'd expect from traditional Disney, except it was exceedingly happy. Wish I could enjoy being a chef that much. She merrily sings about the joy she's going to bring as she grinds up trolls into meat grinders and merrily stuffs their disembodied limbs into troll casseroles. I love how gleefully dark and unapologetically brutal this villain song is. Yet it's got this beautiful contrasting upbeat tone at the same time, which actually makes the villain far more whimsical and enjoyable. The producers were also sad to see this one cut, and I can understand why. All I can say is, my compliments to the chef. I'm bringing back happy. Yeah! And the number 1 darkest Dreamworks deleted scene is Shrek Forever After. Shrek is hunted down by his friends. It was surprisingly hard to find information on this deleted scene. In fact, it's been so well buried that I couldn't find any information on it outside of a DVD extra. The director claimed the scene was too dark to include in the final film, as the fairy tale creatures turn on Shrek and hunt him down. In Shrek Forever After, Shrek is left alone in this alternate dimension, with even his closest friends hunting him down like a dog. Even Gingerbread Man has formed a ginger army to eat Shrek alive, resulting in Shrek slaughtering the gingerbread army. But then, the 3 little pigs scale an all-out assault on Shrek, slamming him back with a barrage of rocks to the head. And apparently, because Shrek hasn't suffered enough, they then set fire to him, continuing by tying him up to burn alive. Jeebus, give a poor ogre a break. Fortunately, he's inadvertently saved by the big bad wolf, who is also trying to attack him. I actually would have been in favor of this dark, weird scene, though. Shrek Forever After was all about building the sense that Shrek was completely alone and had to rebuild his life all by himself. Having his once loyal friends assaulting and battering him would have really added to that sense of loss and betrayal he would have felt, making his return to his old life that much more character building and cathartic. I personally found Shrek being hunted down by his friends the darkest Dreamworks deleted scene. The tricky part with doing Dreamworks deleted scenes is they tend to love the dark stuff. Apart from these, they only tend to remove scenes due to time constraints. And I think that's because they tend to specialize in being a slightly more dark alternative to Pixar. I mean, look at a character like Shrek. they tend to embrace the darker personality traits of characters. So we end up getting a lot of the dark stuff in the original movies. And I'm glad we've still got Dreamworks around as a creative, healthy alternative to Disney in the theaters. And dark or not, if you had a particular Dreamworks deleted scene you liked, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Did you know, as of this video, Shrek 5 is actually coming out in 2019? I personally thought it ended best with Shrek Forever After, but Universal Studios apparently bought Dreamworks, so I guess they want to start the franchise up again. For better or for worse, here's to another decade of Shrek.